exactly 9:35 p.m. Weather or not, it is a good weather here in the UK. I'm not speaking to Igbo people. I don't care. I'm not speaking to Hausa people. I'm not directing my message to the non-Yorubas. My message is for Yoruba people. If you like, you can cry that I'm bigotry. Whatever you call me, I don't care. But I believe that the Biafra must also be allowed to exit Nigeria. But they are not going to use us to do their own job. Everybody will have to fight for their own exit out of Nigeria. But before Nigeria would exit, there is still a government. And we would not just look away and say because of what we are asking for. We will deliberate and we will consult, we will lobby with every part of the globe on what is the way forward inside in Nigeria. So if you are not hearing what I'm speaking about, you probably don't have to stay on the platform. So Yomo Yoruba, Muki, I'm sure you're excited to see me again. You know, we don't do Tibatiri, right? Tieting Wale, lórí TikTok, lórí Instagram, àwa lórí Twitter, tó ń pè ní X, àwa lórí Facebook wa. Mo kí àwọn staff wa. Àwọn staff wa jáde lọ sí Àkúrẹ́ South, I believe. Yeah. I'm sure some of you have watched the video. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kan ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Àkúrẹ́ ní àná. And ilé-iṣẹ́ tiwa bí ṣe máa ń sọ, we are not a blogging platform. We go with the fact of what is happening. And we want to make sure that every part of Yoruba land is covered when it comes to information. So Moki Timwa to travel. It cost me, I sent him 18,000 naira. Koda Owoyanto. This is just within Ondo State. So when we are here saying support Koikimedia, some of you think, you know, when I tell my staff to go and do information collection for us, too much àǹfààní fún wa, you think it's going to be free. There's nothing that is free. Even here in the UK, nothing is free. So mo kí gbogbo àwọn staff wa láti Ondo dé Òkè Ògùn, dé Èkìtì, dé Ṣàgámù. So one of our staff traveled down to Ondo State. I mean, he traveled down to the north part of Ondo State because something happened there yesterday that I saw on one of our other media platforms. And I'm trying to find that video again. I believe the video was sent to me, but I'm apparently using this phone now. Moki gbogbo àwọn staff wa, they are working tirelessly. Báwọn ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ lèmi náà ń ṣiṣẹ́. As at 10 o'clock last night, I was still sending message to our team leader to prepare to send one of our staff to go and find out what ẹ má jẹ́ kí n sọ ìbò kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan nípa ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ pé Fúlàní wọnú ibì kan tí wọ́n ní àwọn làwọn níbẹ̀ ní tó bá dẹ̀ wọ́n àwọn làwọn máa ṣe kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tẹ́ máa ṣe fáwọn wọ́n finá sínú tractor púpọ̀ ní wa máa ti rí fídíò yẹn àbí kó ṣeé ṣe pé kẹ́ máa ti bá pàdé à ń sọ pé kínní yìí ń súnmọ́ bọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ó ń súnmọ́lé tó bá ti kúrò lóńdó tó capture Oǹdó tọ́lọ́run ní jẹ́ kó capture ṣe àgbẹ̀ tó bá ti capture Oǹdó wọ́n ń bọ̀ ní Ọ̀yọ́ state ó dà pé máa rí fídíò yẹn nísìn lọ́dọ̀ brọ́dà mi Àrólé 1010 ni mo ti bá fídíò yẹn pàdé so bí ṣe máa ń sọ ọmọ ní in tó ń bọ̀ yìí ó máa kan everybody ló máa kàn but kọ́lọ́n kó jọ nínú ọlẹ́ ẹ̀ kó túbọ̀ máa fi ààbò ẹ̀ kó máa fi ṣọ́ wa but káwa náà wà vigilant because a lot is happening but let's just hear a snip of what my team brought back fanfani ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti wo fídíò yẹn lórí Facebook wa àti upload ẹ̀ sórí TikTok àti upload ẹ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn platforms wa tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá gbọ́ platform mi pé ẹ̀gbọ́n kankan á jẹ́ pé ẹ̀rí lè follow wa nìyẹn so I cannot help you mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀ka lẹ́lẹ́ǹkan sí.
Akure, that's Ondo State. Akure
North local government. The person lives in Akure South. Monrico Los Akure North. Within Akure North and Akure South, it cost one more than 20,000 naira. Ṣé mo pé tá bá rí owó irú staff wa yan nílé lọ. Gbogbo pé dẹ̀ máa lọ just about 10 o'clock lálẹ́ àná la ṣe make a decision yẹn. Because tá bá rí àwọn short video lórí social media, tá bá rí short video mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa Akure North bẹ́ẹ̀ ni North South ẹ ṣé gan ni. Tá bá rí àwọn short video tó ju 30 seconds lọ a ní mọ̀ kí ni nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ títí ju pé Fúlàní ti dé o but ó bẹ́tà kí journalist lọ síbẹ̀ iṣẹ́ tí journalist gbà nìyẹn so mo kí àwọn staff wa torí kò sí rìn tó kéré so ìdájí kóhun tó jí ni mo ti send owó sí account ẹ̀ mo ṣe send owó láti bíbáyìí mo send £10 yẹn fún mi ní 18,500 naira or something like that owó yẹn ti bàjẹ́ bí owó yẹn máa dá bí láyé ìjọ mi lówó yẹn máa dá kò ń ṣayé 1-to-1 mọ́ ẹ lè ever rí náírà kó borí pound sterling láyé kódà American dollar gan kò lè borí ẹ̀ níbi tí pounds yẹn ní agbára dé mo lè decide pé kí n fi £10 yẹn kí n fi jó kí n fi mu Origin Zero kí n fi jẹ KFC kí n fi jẹ McDonald's àbí kí n fún àwọn ọmọ Oòduà but mo mú £10 yẹn mo send ẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà kó lọ bá wa wá information kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan ní Àkúrẹ́ North so tá a bá wá jókòó tá à ń sọ fáwọn yẹn wa ẹ fún wa lówó ṣe é pé tó bá yẹ pé mo ní náírà ní Nàìjíríà èmi ò tún ní máa send pounds láti bíbáyìí bá dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run but ẹ like ẹ gbọ́ information lórí platform wa torí pé authentic and organic ni kò ń ṣe àmúlùmálà kódà nígbà tó dé ìlú yẹn ó pè mí mo ní àwọn mo kí gbogbo àwọn kábíyèsí wa àtàwọn baálẹ̀ agbègbè yẹn wọ́n fi confam pé láti ilé iṣẹ́ wa even though pé my ID card débẹ̀ wọ́n sì fi confam pé lóòótọ́ ni àwọn ènìyàn wa because ẹ mọ̀ pọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà anything can happen ní ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ṣé fìlà mi ṣe mo gẹ̀ dáadáa kí ni gbogbo àlọ́mọ́ ní mo mọ fìlà gẹ̀ mo kí omi taf kò tí ọ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá ti ń wo mi lára bá ṣe rí tí mo wọ̀ eléyìí omi taf ló rán ṣòkòtò yìí omi taf ló rán ṣe rí bó ṣe rí bíi ti báńgì nísàlẹ̀ òun náà ló rán ṣe rí ṣe láìkẹ̀ tẹ bá ti láìkẹ̀ kò ń ṣe lè pé China o kò ń ṣe India lọ́tí mi lè wá o wọ́n ṣe ràn ni kò yẹ nísìn wọ́n ràn ni ṣe rí ṣèyí tẹ wà ní Amẹ́ríkà tẹ wà ní Malaysia tẹ wà ní London tẹ wà ní African country kò ń ṣe owó tó pọ̀ sọ́mà ti dé èmi náà fi máa look nice ṣe rí bó ṣe dúró lára mi ọmọ Yorùbá tàtà so bí a bí ṣe máa wọ jáde lọ́la ni àwọn á dé fìlà sí báyìí so that àwọn Yorùbá ti rí ẹ pé where are you from Nigeria but a Yorùbá man the ambassador to Nigerian High Commission has now submitted his credential to the King. I'll be telling us a little bit more about that as well. So mo kí staff wa tí a sáré plan the journey yẹn. So I was told mo ní kó switch ẹ̀ sí video call mo á bá wọn baálẹ̀ yẹn àtàwọn kábíyèsí sọ̀rọ̀ pé a rí fídíò kan ní agbègbè yín náà ni la ṣe rányàn wá a dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ pé wọ́n grant interview àwọn interview yẹn yàtọ̀ sí tí a ti ṣe sórí Facebook wọ́n ń prepare lọ́wọ́ tó bá máa fi dàárọ̀ la á jáde lórí àwọn platforms wa bọ̀kákọ̀ gbọ́ díẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Àkúrẹ́ North.
ní àlà community.
àlà community
ní àwa ṣe lé ní àlà community.
àlà community ní ibi tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yẹn ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kan ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tẹ́ pé ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ ní gbọ́ rárá èmi ò tẹ̀ gbọ́ àlà community yẹn rí because we have a lot of local government tẹ́ bá lọ wo iṣẹ́ wà tí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá fi ṣe bọ̀ ṣó máa rí iṣẹ́ nu Nàìjíríà ṣáwọn olóṣèlú wa máa ṣe ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wa ẹ̀jà gbọ́ àlà community kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀.
encompass gbogbo àwọn other areas aba gold aba oríṣiríṣi àwọn aba àlà kájọlà òkè àti ìtẹ̀bọmi àti oríṣiríṣi àwọn community yẹn. So a rí àwọn fídíò kan tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní online ní ẹnujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí tí wọ́n jó tractor kan tí.
iléeṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe akọ̀rí nǹkan àwa sọ a gbọ́dọ̀ tún lọ ṣe àtẹ̀mú ó sì níbi kan tí a fẹ́ rán staff wa lọ again, so à ń dúró kí staff wa yẹn fún wa ní confirmation pé ó máa wà available, ìyẹn náà máa cost wa lówó àbí wà á dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ sí i.
Wọ́n fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ oko lọ́wọ́ àtọ́ ní wípé àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí tí wọ́n jó ìdí nìyí tí a fi wá pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ní eré àyè. Wọ́n sọ pé àwọn Fúlàní herdsmen ló lé wọn tí wọ́n yìnbọn tí orí yọ operator tó ń operate sí kíní tó ń la ọ̀nà yìí kọjá torí pé kí ọ̀nà lè dá kí àwọn àgbẹ̀ wọ́n lè máa.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀nà tí oúnjẹ tí àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa ń ṣe nǹkan tó gbìn kọ́ lè kó jáde nínú oko. Thank you so much those of you that have joined on TikTok. Please, you know what to do. On Facebook, share, comment, let's engage. Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀nà tí wọ́n máa fi kó gbogbo nǹkan èrè oko jáde. Fúlàní sọ pé kò lè possible, àwọn làwọn ní Àkúrẹ́ North. Kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kí Akérédolú. No nonsense governor. Ó bá even though gbogbo wọn jọ wà ní same party, ó bá Buhari fanto tán lẹ̀. Kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ́. I just pray that all our governors will do something that will make the lives of our people, because aṣèwánú Nàìjíríà ṣó dáa kí Fúlàní máa threaten wa pé ẹ fẹ́ ṣe títì tó máa fi gbé farm produce jáde, àwa ń sọ pé bí ń pa wá, because nígbà tá gbẹ̀ bá di pé wọ́n lè lọ sóko tán sá kíjokíjo. Crude oil dẹ̀ ni ó ti ń decline yìí, ó wà lára topic àfẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí kíkọ̀ sáré jó yẹn mọ́ díẹ̀. Mo rí lórí this day ìyẹn Business Inside Africa ní May 4, Nigeria has significantly reduced its dependence on oil. Àti reduce it. Crude oil tó yẹ kó máa fún wa ní a lot of revenue, a lot of income tí Nigeria máa fi operate gbogbo expenses ẹ̀. Nigeria has significantly reduced its dependence on oil, with oil revenue dropping from 75% to 25% of government income in the last decade. Tó bá ní nǹkan decade, ọdún mẹ́wàá ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀. So in the last 10 years, a rí owó epo láti fi ṣe kankan. Epo tí àwa la ní, àwa rí enough income, a rí enough owó from that anymore to run the operation of a country. Àgbẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ kó tún máa support the economy from that sector. Fúlàní bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí àtàkì farm léraléra. Ẹja padà sọ́dọ̀ ètí staff wa tó lọ sí Àkúrẹ́ North ní àlà community. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa, mo kí yín, mo fi kíkí Ọlọ́run, mo fi kí yín, mo fi kíkí Elédùmarè, mo fi kí yín.
Àrídìgbà lọ sí ọ̀nà oko wọn ni àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí tí wọ́n ṣe kí ni o, tí wọ́n ṣọṣẹ́ yìí, tí wọ́n lé ẹni náà operator yìí tí wọ́n lé wọnú igbó, tí wọ́n sì yìnbọn ṣùgbọ́n ìbọn ò bá. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún èyí. Ìdí nìyí tí a wá fi wá ní èní tí ó jẹ́ ọjọ́ kẹfà oṣù May 2026 tí a wá fi wá tí a fẹ́ mọ ohun gan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. A sì rí àwọn èèyàn jàǹkànjàǹkàn ní àlà community láti wá ṣàlàyé ohun gan tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀. Baba wa, ewa. This Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ebola wa yìí, this Allah community.
You see the reason why we are saying don't use our video. Don't even use it and say if it credited. No. everybody tó wà ní diaspora tẹ́ bá fún àwọn tó wà nílé ní opportunity pé ẹ employ èèyàn méjì, we will get a lot of information from every part of Yoruba land oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ because iléeṣẹ́ tí wọ́n lè cover gbogbo ẹ̀. So rather than trying to use our video, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ wá wọn tí ẹ lè lò tẹ́ máa train tó máa bá yín report láti lè mú information wá fún yín, because nígbà tá a bá ṣe wàhálà yìí tá a lọ mú fídíò wá ẹ̀yin á wá brand ẹ̀ ẹ gbé sórí péjì yín, ẹ má lo fídíò wá ẹ fi fídíò wá sílẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ mọ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àlà community ẹ share link wa pẹ̀lú wọn kọ́ lọ wò ní iléeṣẹ́ tiwa, because revenue tó yẹ káwa náà máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbogbo ilẹ̀ ń rí revenue lórí YouTube. Ọdún 4 làwọn ò fi rí revenue, ẹ tẹ̀jẹ́ káwa náà jèrè díẹ̀ káwa náà rí revenue díẹ̀, because for 4 years ni Lai Mohammed àmọ́bi tó wà mọ́ nísìn ẹrántí Lai Mohammed was gonna bring down my YouTube channel, and for that reason we were suspended from monetization because wọ́n ní mo fẹ́ bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́, mo fẹ́ destroy Nàìjíríà dẹ̀ ti ń dà báyìí, Nàìjíríà ti dà báyìí adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run, Nàìjíríà ti wọ́ òkè, kò ń ṣe Koiki ló fẹ́ da Nàìjíríà rú mọ́ báyìí nísìn, everybody ti enjoy Nàìjíríà. Ta ló enjoy Nàìjíríà ẹ̀ náà sókè? If you're enjoying Nigeria, just raise your hands up. Right hand ni o, but tó bá jẹ́ left hand o lè fi left hand because left hand la máa fi ń tàǹbà. Nigeria is working now, right? Àwọn èèyàn dá mi lóhùn mọ́. Mo ní Nigeria is working now because until Lai Mohammed sọ fún Google nìyẹn. Lai Mohammed told Google, mo ní dárúkọ anybody but mo rí gbogbo yín torí mo record, tí bá dẹ̀ dárúkọ yá máa wọnú recording mi mo lè fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Lai Mohammed lọ report channel mi pẹ̀lú ti Simon Ekpa pé àwa la wà ní abroad ta fẹ́ gbé Nàìjíríà wálẹ̀, ta fẹ́ bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́. Mo dẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà ti work, overworking self, Nigeria is working 99%, Nigeria is working. So ẹ má wá sọ fún mi nísìnyí pé Nigeria work because gbogbo àlàárín tí Fúlàní sọ pé ẹ lè ṣe nǹkankan, Nigeria work, insecurity, Nigeria work, ebi ń pa wá, Nigeria work, crude oil decline, Nigeria work, everything is working. Kò dẹ́ ṣe President Tinubu ló ń jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà máa work nìkan, because Nàìjíríà gan ti ń work kí President Tinubu tó dé. Láyé Buhari gan Nàìjíríà ń work, bó dẹ̀ ṣe máa work lọ títí náà nìyẹn láṣẹ Èdùmàrè, àbí.
Kí ni àwọn nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ túbọ̀ torí pé a gbọ́ wípé wọ́n jó àwọn ní Ọbátẹ̀dó wọ́n jó tractor kan, a dẹ̀ ti gbọ́ àwọn nǹkan ìmíì tó jẹ́ ètò ààbò tí ó mẹ́ẹ̀. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gan ní community yìí àti ibo la wà yẹ kí káwọn èèyàn mọ̀?
A wà ní ìlú Àlà community and ìlú ìfẹ́jà ìlú ẹ̀rù.
Ìlú yìí ti fẹ́ da, ó ti fẹ́ da báwo ṣe sọ, wọ́n ní ìlú yìí ó ti dàbí ìlú ẹ̀rù mi pé fear, aráàlú ò lè sùn kọ́ dijú báyìí pé kásáré sùn. So nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nísìn everybody àwa ń gbègbè ìbẹ̀rù, àwa gbogbo àjọ ń gbègbè ìbẹ̀rù. For how long are we going to be able to live like that? Ẹ jẹ́ mú pọ́sì síbẹ̀ yẹn náà, mo láǹfààní mo ní, because I live here and I engage people all the time because of the nature of my job. Mo lè dáyàn dúró ní orí Oxford Street rather, Piccadilly Circus, ní Peckham, ní Milton Keynes, ní Enfield, ní Edmonton, ní Lewisham, ní Woolwich, ní Blackheath, ní Grinstead. Mo lè dá anybody dúró randomly kí n lè béèrè ìbéèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn. Nílùú yìí wá engage ọ̀kan sọ pé àwọn busy, please share the program. Mo engage bàbá kan just 34 seconds màá play léra bí ẹ̀mẹ́ 10. Mo ti ń share audio yẹn, ẹ má bínú pé mo tètè release audio yẹn. Àná ni mo láǹfààní àti bá bàbá yẹn sọ̀rọ̀, àgbàlagbà ní 70 years old. Bàbá yẹn ní kí n sọ fún yín lórí program yìí pé tó bá ní Nàìjíríà máa work, irọ́ ló pa. Kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà, but African country ni, Egyptian ni. ó ní kí n lọ sọ fún yín lórí platform mi lórí program mi pé anybody tó bá sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa work irọ́ lẹ pa pé Britain tó dá 19 bàbá yẹn mọ̀ nípa 1914 amalgamation jẹ̀mí gan lọ ó ní wọ́n mọ̀ kó ẹ̀yà tó gbé dé ara wọn wọ́n kò sí ojú kan ọwọ́ agbélé wa lọ́wọ́ ó ní kò lè ever work. There are some other sensitive information that the man told me. Ó fún mi ní information nípa Jonathan. I will keep that to myself. Ó fún mi ní information nípa the current foreign minister. I will also leave that to myself. Ẹja gbọ́dọ̀ yìí. It's only 34 seconds. Ibi tí mo kọ̀ ráyè rìkọ́dì nìyẹn. A sọ̀rọ̀ for 7 minutes. 7 minutes yẹn. Ó fún mi ní gbogbo breakdown tí mo ti ń sọ in the last 5 years. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa President Tinubu náà. I will keep that to myself. Let's listen to this audio. How do you improve the country? How do you integrate Fulani and Yoruba? How do you integrate Igbo and Yoruba? How do you integrate Hausa and Igbo? Àrò fi ṣe mixlr àti lórí mixlr mọ́. Mo ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ gbogbo èèyàn wa báwo la ṣe fẹ́ integrate ara wa gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀yà àtàjọ wà ní Nàìjíríà tó dẹ̀ máa function tó dẹ̀ máa ṣiṣẹ́ to the best ability of ẹ̀yà kọ̀ọ̀kan tí kò dẹ̀ ní sí conflict of interest. Each tribe has different agenda.
So Nigeria will never progress.
Mo ní will Nigeria ever progress? Ṣé Nigeria máa progress? Ẹ̀gbọ́n tó sọ.
Yes, the way it is. It's been set up like this. They set it up like that. You see, that's the problem. Thank you so much, sir.
It's been set up like that. Wọ́n pinlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n mọ̀ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Bàbá yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ nípa France. Pé France fi máa dàbí ọba fún Africa. Ìyẹn ni wọ́n ṣe ní problem pẹ̀lú Niger, Mali àtàwọn tó ti gbà kú tó kúrò lára ẹ̀yà pé France ló ń dictate fún wọn. Bàbá yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ at only 70 years old, an elderly man. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mo kọ́kọ́ béèrè lọ bàbá yẹn pé ṣé lọ́ọ̀yà ni bàbá yẹn ó lóun kì í ṣe lọ́ọ̀yà because ọ̀rọ̀ bíi law ló kọ́kọ́ fi bá mi engage. Màá play ọdún yẹn padà without any interruption. Ó ní system tí wọ́n set up sí Nàìjíríà kò lè ever work. Ó ní kí n lọ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní platform mi pé anybody tó bá sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa work ní bó ṣe set it up ó ní kó wá fọwọ́ gbáyà. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ̀yin àwa tẹ̀ ń fún wa ní rose mo kí ó ní kẹ́ni náà wá fi ọwọ́ gbáyà. Ó ní bóun any one of us ní political analysis ni o insecurity analysis ni o economy analysis ni o kò lè ever work. Let's start again without me saying nothing.
What they should get, how do you improve the country? How people could integrate together and live in a country. Not each tribe to think this is Nigeria. That's what the new generation should learn. So Nigeria will never progress the way it is. As it is now, it's been set up like this. They set it up like that. You see, that's the problem. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. That in your program. I will. I just have fun.
Only say that in your program. Pé lọ sọ fáwọn tó ń gbọ́ ẹ, àwọn tó wà lánàá tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá sí tó kọ́ ní pẹ́lú àwọn àyà tó kù. President Tinubu is working, putting policies, trying to bring business investors, trying to sort insecurity. Tí President Tinubu bá wà lọ́kọ́, kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀? After President Tinubu's tenure, are we thinking of what next? What are we likely to see? What are we likely to feel? What are we likely to experience? Ẹ mọ̀ pé tó bá ṣì wà ní federal ló máa control gbogbo state yìí. Anybody tó bá ṣì jẹ́ president ó ṣì ní big influence láti rí state kankan mọ́lẹ̀. Kódà tó bá jẹ́ pé Lagos náà ni wàá rí mọ́lẹ̀. Táwọn ẹ̀yà kejì bá wọlé ni mò ń sọ o, kò ń ṣe President Tinubu tó wà níbẹ̀ nísìnyí ló máa rí Lagos mọ́lẹ̀. Kàkà bẹ́ẹ̀ wáyà pump owó sínú Lagos state kíkọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣe infrastructure so that quality to develop as quickly as possible. But níjọ́ tí President Tinubu bá parí tenure ẹ̀, gbogbo project tó bá ń ṣe ní South West wá ní kó stop ẹ̀ náà. Any project tó bá máa ṣe wá ní kó gbọ́wọ́lé lórí náà, bam, put a stop on it. Wọ́n lè ní kò sówó tó máa fi rán ẹ̀. Wọ́n lè ní wọ́n fẹ́ investigate President Tinubu pẹ̀lú àwọn contract tó release while he was in office. They might want to investigate him, just as President Tinubu is investigating Emefiele right now. Gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ expert ọmọ Yorùbá tí President Tinubu kó mọ́ra pé kó fi jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó work, àbí ṣèbí kan tí President Tinubu fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn pé kí Nàìjíríà kó work. Bàbá ẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé kí n padà lọ sọ fún gbogbo pé lọ́ni pé Nàìjíríà ò lè work. Àti Lai Mohammed àti bàbá wa Wálé Ẹdun tó ṣe finance tán tí brother wa ẹ̀gbọ́n wa táwọn náà ṣe wọlé nísìn wọ́n ti tẹ̀lé President Tinubu lọ sí France. Ìyẹn the new finance minister àti Mr. Wálé Ẹdun àti Cardoso, they might be questioned by the next president after President Tinubu. The next president have the right to question them about anything that they've done. It doesn't matter whether they were doing the best for Nigeria. Why do you think President Tinubu also is doing the same thing pẹ̀lú Emefiele pé Emefiele àwọn owó kan wà tó náà kó síta. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gànnì bàbá Bukki Dare ni, of course any sane person should know Nigeria can never work. Mo ní bàbá yìí ó sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan tó wà sensitive tí màá kọ́ ṣèfi sílẹ̀ nà, kò ń ṣe pé anything tí kò ṣe é sọ, but ẹ mọ̀ pé èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ wà diplomatic a little bit. Ó láwọn kankan tó sọ jáde, ó mọ àwọn tí mo dárúkọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn, Jonathan finance minister, minister for information, no, foreign affairs, foreign minister. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ìyẹn ó ti retire àbó resign dẹ̀ ni, kò retire ó resign, but wọ́n ti fẹ́ lómi replace ẹ̀. Àbúrò mi yé nísìn. He doesn't know President Tinubu, but there's few things he said on President Tinubu. Let me throw this question out. Mo kàn fi wo ẹ mọ̀ pàwọn náà ti ń sọ pé kí ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ that President Tinubu has not been invited to the White House. Is there something that we need to know from the White House, or kí President Tinubu kò bluff America pé bílẹ̀ bá máa ṣàkóṣá àbí báwo lọ ṣe máa ń pòwe yẹn ẹ mọ̀ kí mi ò mọ̀wé pa. But we know the influence of America. Now, ẹni tó lọ́pọlọ ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀, mo bá ọ tí òróró tó fi ń dín àkàrà fún ẹ nílé tí wọ́n change after 6 months, ìwọ kọ́ ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀. ṣé mọ̀ pé ìlú yìí wọ́n sì fẹ́ ní a very cordial relationship pẹ̀lú America lọ ṣe gbé king dìde kó lọ bá wọn bẹ̀bẹ̀. How many of you know that? That the visit of King Charles to the state was just to amend the ties between UK and the US, while President Trump only change your team, President is about to change, but right now that Trump is in power, Trump has another 3 years left, and that means nobody knows what is going to happen between now and the next 3 years of his government. So President Trump was King Charles was sent there just to put a bit of more cordial relation. So tell me, come back of me, pé President Tinubu need America. Mama wo pé is that true? Can that be true? Pé President Tinubu need láti wà invited by the US government. The importance of US cannot be put on the side. America tó ń ṣe gbàsgbòs fún NATO, tó ń ṣe gbàsgbòs fún Russia, ó ní anybody tó bá ra epo lọ́dọ̀ Russia òun máa dí pẹ̀lú wọn. That is the power of the US government. The US government is a very strong government that cannot be shielded aside. So there are few things that the man said within that area tó jẹ́ kí n béèrè question yìí fáwọn tí à ń wá knowledge pé kí ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ bí a ti President Tinubu bá ráyè wọlé ní second term, maybe he might get that invite, who knows, because even UK gave him lastminute.com, because lè sọ pé lastminute.com ni because election ti fi dé lọ́nà dá bàbá àfún yín ní state visit, and that state visit was exclusive because it has not been given to anybody in the last many years, more than 20 years ní UK ti fún ní president ní Nigeria ní state visit. So giving it to President Tinubu also means something that Britain needs from Nigeria, which we know. But kí ni America máa need látara Nigeria tí President Trump máa fi pé President Tinubu tí President Tinubu bá ráyè wọlé ní second term? Kí lè rò pé President Trump lè need lára Nigeria? Military base? America máa boast báwọn ní enough crude oil. In terms of American government on here, we have enough crude oil. Àwọn need the Strait of Hormuz. Kódà last week 25% tariff on any European cars to bambol America, because America wants to build America for Americans. If gbogbo manufacturing tẹ kó lọ sí China, tẹ kó lọ sí India, tẹ kó lọ sí gbogbo tẹ kó lọ ẹ kó wọn padà wá. Tẹ́ ẹ bá kó wọn padà wá, I will charge you a lot of tariff. In terms of tariff nìyẹn. American government ń ṣe America kò tẹ́ ń ṣe Trump tó wà ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ní sí kò gbọ́rọ̀ gbé. It doesn't even have ẹ lọ wo fídíò ìgbà tí King Charles lọ sí America tíyàwó King Charles Camilla tó ń kí àwọn Trump lọ síbi ó dẹ̀ ajá kẹ̀mọ́ lọ́wọ́. President tó gbàgbọ́ ni president tó ń bá journalist ṣe mọ̀ pé àwọn journalist kan wọ́n máa ń pe President Trump direct lórí phone lórí mobile phone. I would love to have such a privilege with President Tinubu. Do you know that? Have you ever seen that video? Malo. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mi ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ má bà níbẹ̀ ń bọ̀. Sky News spoke with Trump. President tó gbọ́n kankan. Sky News spoke with Trump. Telephone. Mo Google ẹ̀ ní o kó lè gbé jáde bí ṣe fẹ́. Yeah, that's it. Video lele. How does it work when you call President Trump? That is the headline. This was posted on the Sky website Wednesday 15 April 2026 at 10:13 p.m. or 10 p.m. because kò ṣe 24 hours close. Àárọ̀ 10:13 a.m. Ẹ lọ Google ẹ̀ pé Trump spoke with Sky News agbejade I'm a play anything. I don't think some of you understand what that means. That Trump doesn't care. Trump ò gbàgbọ́ rárá is the president that tí journalist bá tó bá béèrè question lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ á gbà sí fún padà pé kí ló mean by that? Fake news, fake CNN, fake news, you have fake news. Ẹni tó ń gbé àwọn media lọ sí court tó ń bá wọn jà làwọn sọ pé president Tinubu ò ní láti lọ sí White House. But mo wá béèrè pé kí ni president Tinubu àti Trump lè ní papọ̀ tí tó máa fi invite president Tinubu? Ẹ̀dá gbọ́ tí journalist yẹn bó ṣe sọ. Let's listen to the video. Audio ló máa jẹ́ fẹ́yìn.
It is literally his cell phone. As we understand it, he has 3 cell phones. And one of them, we have the number. And when you call, he has 3 cell phones. And one of them, we have the number. And
one of them, nínú fóònù mẹ́ta tí President Trump ń kó káàkiri, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe máa ń kó fóònù káàkiri báyìí. Èmi náà ní mẹ́ta. Ìkànnú ẹ̀, Sky News reporter, kò ń ṣe òní kan ó ní nọ́mbà yìí lọ́wọ́. Tó bá pe Trump máa gbé. Ọmọ, let's listen.
And when you call, he does either picks up or he doesn't. And this evening, as he did last Tuesday evening, he picked up. And it's not as if, a colleague of mine said to me, so what happens at the end of the call? Do you get like transferred back through to the White House switchboard or to, Caroline Levitt for sort of a debrief? I said no, it's his cell phone.
You call him, he picks up. Kò lọ through switchboard, kò lọ sí anywhere. Just bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe máa ń pè mí tí mi náà máa gbé call. Ọmọ Trump yìí is another president tí mo rí rẹ́rìí. And we still have 3 years of him in power. Kò dẹ̀ tí ṣe tán. Koikimedia Live.
And I mean, it's extraordinary. And I can't recall. I don't think there's any other world leader where this happens. It's a.
Did you hear what he said? Ṣẹ̀gbọ́n ìbò tó sọ àbí kí n ṣe ní ìtumọ̀ fún wa. It's extraordinary. Kò ń ṣe tó máa bá pàdé. Kò ní nọ́mbà president lọ́wọ́ ó dẹ̀ lè pè direct láì ṣe pé ẹjọ́ ní business partner àbí political alliance. Ìtàn pè ní access nìyẹn. I wish I would have such an access to President Trump. Do you know if I have access to such a number? Ẹ̀gbọ́n tèmi náà máa bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. But ẹ wá gbọ́ nǹkan tí arákùnrin máa sọ. In terms of tí Trump bá wá gbé, kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí lọ́jọ́ ń sọ? Nígbà wo ni wọ́n máa jẹ́ kí Trump mọ̀ pé a ti fẹ́ rìkọ́dù ṣọ aláwa ká rìkọ́dù ọ̀rọ̀ yìí? Kò ń ṣẹ́yìn tẹ́yìn máa pè wá tẹ́ fẹ́ rìkọ́dù ẹ̀hún wa. Oya Koiki kí lórí sọ̀rọ̀ Ìgbòho àti APC? Ọgbẹ́ fóònù ẹsẹ̀ spíkà fẹ́ lómi kò gbọ́ o. Òmùgọ̀ lẹ pè mí. Bèbí lẹ pè mí. After 5 years nínú ìrìn àjò yìí. Wá pè Koiki Ìgbòho wá ti wá join APC. Irọ́ ni èmi nìkan kọ́ ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n wà lórí conference call pẹ̀lú àwọn ọlọ́mí o. Wọ́n kàn fi gbọ́ view tèmi pé bí ó máa contradict in tí Ìgbòho ń ṣe. Mo rẹ̀ sọ pé ibi tí Ìgbòho bá ń lọ ni mò ń lọ kí ìyá mi tó kú kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ ó ní mo gbọ́dọ̀ dalẹ̀ Ìgbòho ó ní mo gbọ́dọ̀ da ilẹ̀ Ìgbòho èmi ò tẹ́ mọ̀ kó fẹ́ kú ó ń sọ fún mi lórí sick bed ẹ̀ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ dalẹ̀ pé kí n dúró tì í ìyẹn lẹ́yìn wá ń pè mórí ẹ sísítà mi kò gbọ́dọ̀ kú ọwọ́ ẹ lókè ẹ wá ṣe ń pè mí ìbò lèmi fìsí pẹ̀lú Ìgbòho no ọ̀dọ̀ dáàdi yìí ni mo fi sí as long as tẹ́yìn náà bá ti lè lọ ṣe tí Ìgbòho ṣe tí mo dẹ̀ confam ẹ̀ tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì dẹ̀ lè yípa tí ẹ̀ dẹ̀ kúrò nílùú fún 2 years lọ bí dáàdi ẹ̀ wọ́n tó ń bèrè pé tí Ìgbòho bá dalẹ̀ dáàdi ẹ̀ ní kó lọ bèrè ọmọ àlè tí orúkọ ni wọ́n lò yìí one bastard ọmọ orúkọ tèmi ọmọ orúkọ Ìgbòho tí orúkọ lélẹ̀ tí wọ́n gbé sórí TikTok yìí mamu manis ọmọ àlè orúkọ Yorùbá lélẹ̀ àbí orúkọ Ìgbò àbí Fúlàní orí tí Ìgbòho bá dalẹ̀ ńkọ́ ó dalẹ̀ dá díẹ̀ ọmọ àlè bastard lórí burúkú ọmọ ọ̀fọ̀ wádẹ́jà gbalagbà náà nìyẹn ẹ̀yin idiot stupid people all over the place mélòó ni dádì ẹ̀ ṣe nígbà tí dádì ẹ̀ wà láyé kó ṣí kúrò lórí platform fún wa lè dá fún àwọn tó bí ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yàn wa àwọn olùsí.
Very strange.
There is no leader in the world. There is never a leader in the world tó dàbí Trump. Ìyẹn lẹ́wọ̀n sọ pé Tinubu kò tí lọ sí White House kò mean anything. Do you understand what that means? I pray that Tinubu will have access to the White House. It could, yes, I mean they're talking, but the visit is different. Engine room ní White House tẹ̀ ń rí yẹn. Bígbà tí nọ́mbà mo ní King Charles wọ́n gbé King Charles dìde láti lọ bẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣé mọ̀ pé gbà tí Iran àti Israel àti America tọjọ́ ń gba gbàgbós tẹ́ bá wo bí Trump bó ṣe ń rọ́bìṣì UK ní UK wo òun náà wà làwọn ń kówó sínú NATO àwa làwọn ń fọ́ǹdì NATO yín adájọ́ tí America ṣe gbara wọn sílẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ UK ní 1776 ìjọ wo làwọn máa gbara wa sílẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà kò tí ì pé lóòótọ́ bọ̀ níjọ́ wo ni we will keep the tab pẹ̀lú President Tinubu pé bàbá calm down ni yes any right láti wá ṣe second term any right láti ṣe 8 years but tẹ bá parí 8 years yẹn ṣe rí gbogbo àwọn tó bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n lè má lè ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa ẹ ṣe kò gbọdọ̀ kú ìyá dáadáa wọ́n lè má lè ṣe kankan fún President Tinubu bọ̀ ṣe rí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ lẹ́yìn bàbá Tinubu wàá ṣàwọn sẹ́wọ̀n àfi tó bá sá lọ wàá ṣàwọn sẹ́wọ̀n ṣe rí àwọn Fúlàní wọ́n ń dẹ Tinubu báyìí ni wọ́n ń dẹ bàbá yẹn ṣe rí gbogbo tó ń join APC yẹn wọ́n kàn fẹ́ fi ti bàbá Tinubu síwájú pé ṣé àgbà tó fẹ́ ṣé second time ló fẹ́ ìwọ gbà ọdún mẹ́rin ni Buhari ṣe 8 years hospital tí Buhari kú sí mo sì gbàgbé kọjá lẹ́nu olórí kò ní àkútúkú ẹ̀ lọ́rùn do you know how much he was spending in that hospital kó tó di pókú àti fake àti original ẹ̀yin ọba wa ẹ bá wa máa bá President Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà tí ẹ bá ní access sí wọn èyí lẹ ní access sí nọ́mbà yẹn àwọn ò ní nọ́mbà yẹn direct so tẹ bá ti ń pe President Tinubu bàbá mi olúgbọ́n màá tún pè yín lọ́la bàbá dáadáa èmi náà ní nọ́mbà àwọn ọba kọ̀ọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàbá mi olúgbọ́n màá pè yín lọ́la kí ló tẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ká tẹ̀ mọ́ kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n ń wọlé jí wa gbé wọ́n ń ṣe kinní kan àwọn èèyàn lè dá oko ìlú kan la lọ lánàá àní pẹ́ lórí ètò yìí má bínú àti wọ́n 15 minutes ẹ̀wọ̀n pé 60 náà ni tó bá ti ń dé 70 minutes àwọn máa wind down táwọn àwọn kò dẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ kò là ń sọ mọ́ nísìn the whole economic structure has failed ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ parí ibi tí bàbá yìí ẹ jẹ́ kan kí n kọ́ playback without no interruption only it is extraordinary never it has been done that you have a journalist to do because journalist ló máa ń bẹ̀rù jù báwo ló ṣe máa fún journalist ní nọ́mbà bọ̀jà gbọ́n tí máa yìí sọ without no more interruption ká padà sóní program wọn ní kíákíá.
Cell phone, as we understand it, he has 3 cell phones, and one of them we have the number, and when you call, he either picks up or he doesn't. And this evening, as he did last Tuesday evening, he picked up. And it's not as if, a colleague of mine said to me, so what happens at the end of the call? Do you get transferred back through to the White House switchboard or to Caroline Levitt for sort of a debrief? I said no, it's his cell phone. And I mean, it's extraordinary. And I can't recall, I don't think there's any other world leader where this happens. It's a very strange, it's just very strange.
Do we think he has 3 phone numbers, one for sort of close family and friends, one for the vice president, and then one for other people who he meets out and about and journalists?
What I do know is that he does pick up, and it is kind of like calling, well, it's not like calling the president, put it that way. I was in here. I had my phone here, put it on speakerphone so that the production team, my colleagues and friends around me could scribble down what he was saying, because the other thing is you can't record it until you've got permission to record it. I'll come on to that. So put the phone on here, press call, and in 3 rings,
hello, and I said something like, Mr. President, it's Mark Stone from Sky News. We spoke last week, and I said, how are you? And I remember what he said then. He said, good, what's up?
I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, all good. I'm all good.
Trump, now another person. Confirmation. Now, let's come back to ibi táwọn team wa lọ kákọ̀ gbọ́ fún another 3 minutes ká wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa crude oil. Kí ló dé tó ń decline? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ tí crude oil wa tó ń decline? Ó yẹ kó máa lọ sókè ni. Ṣé Buhari ti fi gbogbo crude oil yáwó tán? Because while Buhari was in office, you think you have crude oil, ó kàn fi yáwó burúkú ni. Let's hear from this man láti Àkúrẹ́ North.
ìlú àìgbé ìlú ojú fún gbogbo àwa tá a wà níbí nítorí pé ojoojúmọ́ ní tẹ̀lé ní gbogbo ìgbà òun ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tí ẹ wípé a ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ láti ṣiṣẹ́ wa bíi tàtijọ́ mọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àpẹẹrẹ tá a bá ń lọ ní oko àwọn èèyàn búburú wọ̀nyí wọ́n dá wa lọ́nà wọ́n gbé àwọn èèyàn wa lọ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà wọ́n yìnbọn wọ́n pa àwọn ènìyàn eléyìí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta sẹ́yìn ní ọ̀nà àgọ́ òyìnbó níbí
ní eléyìí tó ń pè ní Ọbátẹ̀dó
níbi tí tractor ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ti ń fá ọ̀nà lọ́sàn-án gangan ni àwọn wọ̀nyí tó ń gbé ìbọn tí wọ́n débẹ̀ tán bẹ̀ sí yìnbọn sókè gbogbo àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ náà sá even though ẹni tí ó ń wa mọ́tò yìí wọ́n ṣe léṣe wọ́n sì rí wípé wọ́n gbé iná sí tractor yìí wọ́n jó gbogbo ẹ̀ eléyìí tó tún ṣẹlẹ̀ bí oṣù kan báyìí síbi tá a wà yé lágbègbè wa ń bí ní ìlú Àpáfà sí Òkè Àlárí wípé àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà ń bẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń lọ oko wọ́n dá wọn lọ́nà wọ́n gbé ọkọ wọ́n sì gbé aya bí a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yé ọkọ nìkan la rí àríyàwó a ò rókú a ò ráyè ẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan wọn.
ṣẹlẹ̀ àwa táwọn lórí social media àwa wà selfish gbogbo wa including myself ẹ wo ohun tó ń sọ ọgbọkọ ọgbéyàwó ọrọkọ wọríyàwó ó kú ni ó wà láyé ni àmọ́ but nítorí pé ó yí sì fáwa káwa kàn jókòó sí bíbá ẹ mọ̀ nínú comfort zone mi lèmi ti ń ṣe mo mọ̀ bí ẹnu comfort zone ilé yìí ti ń gbọ́ mi but mo pray pé inú comfort zone lẹ ti ń gbọ́ mi ẹni tó gbéyàwó ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé tó bá tẹ̀ ipò l'accident tó kú ni wọ́n ní àkókò Fúlàní gbéyàwó ẹ̀ wọ̀ rí ṣe mọ̀ pé bàbá yìí sọ̀kan lẹ́yìn kan pé n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́sẹ̀ mẹ́ta ló dà pé fídíò ta ṣe rí yẹn o so kò tẹ́ ń ṣe current so sometimes mo ṣe rántí pé Dr. Kemi Olúlọ́yàn ní pé Nàìjíríà ní ibi tí news is underreported Nàìjíríà lòun rí pé wọ́n wà pé news bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà news tá à ń gbọ́ Nàìjíríà kò ń ṣe current news ẹ wo ẹ̀hún tí bàbá yẹn sọ nísìn ṣe hàn pé báwa ṣe rí fídíò yẹn a rò pé current ni dó àwọn míì wà tó máa ń current tó ń ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ kò ṣe pé wọ́n fi stand up tó bá stand up tán nísìn gọ́vnà lè ní ṣé òun rán wọn ṣẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ politics wá play politics láàrin yẹn kákọ̀ gbọ́ díẹ̀ sí torí àsìkò.
wọ̀nyí ìbẹ̀rù ojú yìí pọ̀ tó yẹ pé a lè lọ ní oko amójẹ́sọ ilé tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìjẹta mọ́jú àná tó jẹ́ wípé ní small London níbí wọ́n lọ bẹ̀ àwọn
ní agbègbè àlà
small London níbí wọ́n dojúkọ àwọn mì yẹn débi wípé wọ́n yìnbọn sí wọn wọ́n fọ́ ẹsẹ̀ wọn àti ẹ̀gbọ́n wípé ìkànnà eléyìí dáná yìí lọ sọ́sibítà pé àwọn ó ti bẹ́ mímì so with this.
wọ́n níbi kan wà tó ń pè ní small London lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n náà lọ́hùn wọ́n attack àwọn army tó yẹ kó ní strength láti lè protect ìlú fídíò yẹn ti wà lórí TikTok ó dẹ̀ wà lórí YouTube wa fẹ́yìn tí ẹ bá fẹ́ lọ wò láti lè lọ wò ká lè move forward torí àsìkò náà ni adẹ̀ ti lọ bí 60 minutes now going back to the lórí ọ̀rọ̀ crude oil mo rí iṣẹ́ lórí business inside Nigeria ìyẹn ní May 4 wọ́n ní Nigeria has significantly reduced its dependence on oil with oil revenue dropping from about 75% to 25% of government income in the last decade. Òyìnbó tó ń sọ ni pé owó tó yẹ kó wọlé láti crude oil tàtà síta kàkà kó máa lọ sókè ṣe ló ń já wálẹ̀ kí ló fà tó ń já wálẹ̀, kí nìkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀, ṣé wọ́n rí tà síta mọ́ ni, ṣé àárá àwọn tó ń ra epo mọ́ ni, because crude oil it will still be in need. Kódà bó ń wọn àgbáyé kan máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa climate change, electric, àwọn bíi China ò care nípa anything emission rather, because China sì fi máa jẹ́ the dominant of production àti India, so they will continue to need that energy. Crude oil dẹ̀ lọ́lẹ̀ máa fi pọ́ǹpù machine tí wọ́n máa fi ṣe gbogbo bedsheet ní pillowcase ní anything you can think of. But kí ló wá fà á? Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi fi sínú comment section, kí lẹ́yìn rò pé ó fà á tí dependent on crude oil or on oil rather, let me put it that way, on oil, tá ń pè ní oil revenue dropping from 75% to 25%. Do you know that means we lost 50%. Ó yẹ kó lọ sókè ní bọ̀, kí ló wá ń já wálẹ̀, kí ló ń fà á? According to tax revenue, especially from non-oil sources, now constitute nearly 87% of total federation revenue. Àtẹ̀dúpẹ́ pé if that is true, pé owó tó jẹ́ ti revenue láti ilé epo láti oil èèyàn lọ sókè, but from other sector according to them, èmi ò sí ń bẹ̀, èmi ò sí níjọba yẹn láti mọ tó ń sọ, but n tó sọ lèmi wá ń sọ fún wa. Bí abẹ́ ló wá rí ni èyí tẹ́ wà nílé máa lè ṣàlàyé bẹ́ẹ̀ fún wa. Wọ́n ní non-oil sources, irú àwọn bàbá tó ń ta kòkó, tó ń ta gbogbo àwọn products yẹn tó yẹ kó máa tó yẹ kó máa export. Mo níyàn kan nísìn gbogbo àlọ́ máa ń pè mí òun ní charcoal tó òun fi ta, mo ní gbogbo mo fi bẹ́ẹ̀ ta sí. UK, I don't know the market for it. Àwọn ìlú kan wà lóòótọ́ tó ní the charcoal ní outside Nigeria ni mo mìíràn ní Europe, but gbà tẹ́mi ò dẹ̀ gbé ní UK lèmi gbé, mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ nípa àwọn tó ń ra charcoal ní bíbá. Charcoal tẹ́mi mọ̀ ní pé tó bá dé store wọ́n ti package ẹ̀, wà kọ́ ra èyí tó fẹ́ rà tó fẹ́ fi ṣe bọ̀lì tó fẹ́ sun jẹ. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ wà careful ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe barbecue nínú ọdún yìí, ànírí ogun náà, ànírí wàhálà náà. Tẹ́ bá ti ń ṣe barbecue yín ẹ fojú sí, ẹ mọ̀ pé UK làwa wà, ẹ fi fire extinguisher sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, ẹ má get carried away nígbà tẹ́ bá ti ń tipsy, tẹ́ ti ń mu brandy. Ẹ wà very careful. Tó bá dẹ̀ pé ní gas náà lẹ́ ń lò ní, and the same thing goes pẹ̀lú ẹ̀tẹ̀ wà lé, because time táwa máa ń ṣe barbecue ni àwa máa ń gbádùn tí weather bá dé báyìí, everybody máa smile, èmi náà àwa máa rẹ́rìn síra wa, tí weather bá ti tutù ojú máa lé kókókókó bí ojú ẹja ni, torí arthritis ló máa ń wá sẹ́sẹ̀. Wọ́n wá ní the non-oil taxes account for over 70% of tax collection, rising from 25% in 2010 to about 75.9% in 2024-2025. Between 2022 and 2025, láàrin ọdún mẹ́ta, Nigeria annual tax revenue nearly tripled, driven primarily by the growth in the non-oil tax collection. Now, all this is good, right? Thank you so much, AI Summary. Discussing Nigerian economy shifting from oil to non-oil revenue. Yes, that's what we are discussing. But can we truly maintain this after President Tinubu has finished his tenure? Whether this tenure completes in 2027 or he wins and comes back and continues to 2031, can we truly say that, yes, we are doing well in tax, other sectors are bringing money into the country, but can this be sustainable is the question that I want us to think about tonight as I start winding down to program this evening. Thank you so much, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá gbọ́ bí omi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí yín, ẹ bá wa pín kó kárí ilé. And on that note, kákọ̀ kí àwọn èèyàn wa, kákọ̀ dúpẹ́ pé ẹ ṣé gan for joining us on TikTok. Mo kí sister ilé, mo rí pé náà fún mi ní Rose, mo kí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ darapọ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fún wa ní support náà, mo kí yín. Kí lẹ́yìn rò sí this, ipò bí ẹ kó fún wa lówó, kò fún wa lówó, and all of a sudden we are making money from other sector, which is good, but truly and truly, ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá mi Natini, I applaud your level of intelligence, you are direct and structured. Ọbẹ̀ Elédùmarè náà ni, ẹ ṣé gan ni mo dúpẹ́ mo mọ̀ lórí. Bàbá mi Bukki Dáre ni, but what are they doing with the crude oil diverted? Òun náà ni kò yé mi, àbí ṣé mo ní time? Okay, bí a 10 minutes, àbárẹ̀ tó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí TikTok. kọ̀gbẹ́ yín wọlé tàbádẹ́rẹ́ tó fẹ́ pè náà kẹ́ pè lórí studio number. Sister Eileen ní crude oil has been kílẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ tọ́mọ́ mi ẹ bá mi kọ́ àwọn olówó sponsor gbogbo trip tàfi lọ sí Kogi àwọn Ìjẹ̀bú parapọ̀ náà ti palẹ̀mọ́ láti lọ kí olóyè ní àìpẹ́ yìí ní wíkẹ́ndì yìí mo kí bàbá wa kí Tóyè mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin YSDM mo kí gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ mo kí Yajagun Ajé Akúnyè kò gbọ́dọ̀ kú mo kí multi faith mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí mo rántí àtẹ̀yin tí mo rántí mo kí ìlànà ọmọdúà mo kí ìfẹ́lódùn bàbá wa alágàlà mo kí yín mo kí àwòrán ṣàṣà mo kí gbogbo yín mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọba wa èmi ò bá ọba kankan jà. Crude oil has been used for collateral. Buhari ti lówó crude oil yẹn ó ti fi yáwó bí àtòrí ẹ̀ ni bàbá Tinubu ṣe gbé Emefiele pé ibi tẹ kówó yẹn sí àfẹ́mọ́bi tó wà bọ́ ṣé tí bàbá Tinubu náà bá ṣe tán tí wọ́n kówó jáde tí gbogbo taxation yẹn wà òkè ṣé wọ̀ ní máa lé bàbá Wálé Ẹdùn níbi tó bá ti ń relax àti Kàdóso. I don't know, we know that the Northerners are not happy that whether the structure is working or not, but they are just playing politics with Tinubu, and I'm sure they know what they want, and they will make sure their objective is achieved, because achievement tí wọ́n ní pé kó gbàgbára yẹn padà kó wá mọ bó ṣe máa suppress àwa tó kù. I'm sure that's what they want to do. Anyway, I'm sure we got the message. So what we have discussed in the topic this evening, what next for Nigeria? Kí ló kàn fún Nigeria? Ṣé gan ni brother mi Bukky Dare? Ṣé gbogbo game tí wọ́n play pẹ̀lú President Tinubu nísìn is just to tell him that Fulanization agenda is real. But some people don't believe that pé kò wà real pé Koiki. But ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ audio tí mo play lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn ká gbọ́ bí ẹ̀mẹ́ta without any interruption. Mo ní bàbá tí mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí is about 70 years old. Mo ní what next for Nigeria? Àkọlé tètò tèmi. Nigeria was designed never to work. Èmi ìkọ́ni mo sọ. Listen to the audio. Audio yẹn náà lélẹ̀.
What they should get. How do you improve the country? How people could integrate together and live one country. Not each tribe think this is Nigeria. That's what the new generation should learn.
So Nigeria will never progress the way it is.
So as it is now, it's being set up like this. It's being they set it up like that. You see, that's the problem.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Say
you.
that in your program.
I will.
I didn't have time, but I saw you my interview on the Turkish TV last week.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún gbọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i.
What they should get. How do you improve the country? How people could integrate together and live one country. Not each tribe think this is Nigeria. That's what the new generation should learn.
So Nigeria will never progress the way it is.
So as it is now, it's being set up like this. It's being they set it up like that. You see, that's the problem.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Say
you.
that in your program.
I will.
I didn't have time, but I saw you my interview on the Turkish TV last week.
Ká gbọ́ ní one more last time.
What they should get. How do you improve the country? How people could integrate together and live one country. Not each tribe think this is Nigeria. That's what the new generation should learn.
So Nigeria will never progress the way it is.
So as it is now, it's being set up like this.
As it is now, it is set up like that. For Nigeria to work, Baba Tinubu has to step on toes. There's no doubt about it. And those toes will be hot. And those toes will fight back. And that's why President Tinubu says in one of his videos that they are using insecurity to destabilize him. Sister Eileen said, what next is for every region to go their separate ways. For some that says that even if we are going to still remain one, break it and take it back to devolved government. For us, I believe is a full exit. For some, Baba, Egbiwa Pada, Kopada see, kí ló ń pè ní devolved government. I will do more explanation of that on another program. Òun ni à ń lò ní United Kingdom. England dá dúró on their own. Wales dá dúró. Scotland dá dúró. Bó ṣe ń rán ọmọ wọn ní school ní Scotland, ó yàtọ̀ sí ti England. Ọ̀la nísìn láàárọ̀ ọ̀la láti 7 títí di 10 p.m. wàá lọ dìbò. Kò sí wọ́n ń gbèrè sí fún ẹ, kò sí kankan ju pé wọ́n ti ju leaflet sínú ilé APC Labour Libden gbogbo wọn lọ́la nísìn màá lọ vote fún ẹni tí mo fẹ́ tẹ̀ka fún, kò sẹ́ni tó máa nà yàn lẹ́gbàá. I want a kind of a system where mo rí brother wa tó ń kọrin tó ti padà lọ sí state ẹ̀ tó fi lọ support uncle ẹ̀ ó dáa, but I hope that the uncle has done well, and I hope all our state governors are doing well as well. The evolution of power is stylishly coming up from Asiwaju, and only if, because time is not there anymore now. I don't think he can do anything between now and the next election. So he will literally need second term, from some of us will say, but I don't think they want him to come back for second term. And that is why it needs to be close to the best president in the world, President Trump. I love him. That's what I said. The fact that I'm coming up with why President Trump and Tinubu has not met in the White House. It's not about talking on the phone or through, direct of their foreign minister. No. President Tinubu needs to go to White House, and they can have that kind of discussion. Whatever their discussion in the UK, I don't know. But I think Trump discussion might be as powerful, because King Charles himself went to US to plead on behalf of the UK. And very important. So we need President Trump and President Tinubu to meet directly in the White House and tell President Trump, look, this country needs a bit of adjustment. Look, American government has every right to do whatever they can do. It was George Bush that made South Sudan what it is today. Break it, Osodemeji. Yeah, George Bush. Maybe you don't know. So Trump can have, look, if Trump says divide it, if Trump says divide it, if Trump says take it to wherever you want, kò sí sí government kan lágbàáyé tó lè oppose ẹ̀. Yes. Trump tó ń bá gbogbo ìlú jà, gbogbo ìlú ló ń bá jà. Do you know what it means that, the war that it took us to disrupt the whole of the global world? The Strait of Hormuz was working before, until Trump went there and decided that, we fight Iran. Iran blocked it up. Do you know what it means? 20% of the global trade passes through Strait of Hormuz. And Americans say we don't need it. But yet, you went there, start the fight. Iran is now using that particular part of the world to lock everybody in, whether you are in part of the war or not. So this is what we are saying. So the fact that Trump can still do that goes, if Trump says, look, this country, only if America has interest in Nigeria to remain one, that we will discuss some other time, because of the time. If only America has interest to keep Nigeria as one, maybe, we know that Britain has an interest, there's no doubt about it, to keep Nigeria one. But does America have that same interest to keep Nigeria as a one entity? Maybe somebody can help me by, send me a message. Koiki ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ, ibi tó sọ̀rọ̀ dé yẹn nísìn, idea tèmi ní lélẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yẹn. Does ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ sílẹ̀ sódà mo ní gbàgbé ìṣe rántí. Sódà ìgbà máa fi ṣe program bí a ní tọ́lọ̀bá tó fún mi láyè. Báwo ṣe sọ nísìn náà? Does Trump want Nigeria to remain one country with a question mark? Kí lẹ rò sí? A comment, so that tí bá rí comment yẹn, èmi náà wá fi ṣe ọlọ́gbọ́n náà ní gbogbo àjọ máa lò láfi dá lè fẹ̀. Does Trump want Nigeria to remain one country with a question mark? We know that the UK want Nigeria to remain one country, and they've told us because only by 2075 Nigeria will be a better place. They don't have to say, look, these are diplomacy people. They don't come and tell you Nigeria won't break. No, they say Nigeria will be better by 2075. That means they want Nigeria to remain one country until another 50 years. I will be in my 90. Let's end it that way. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your time spent with me. It's not easy to sit. It's not easy for me sitting as well. But I hope we've learned one or two things. The question is, bọ̀tí tí bàbá yẹn sọ kí lẹ́yìn rò ẹ ṣe gan ni Sister Elaine mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà mi kò ní tán níbẹ̀ àṣírí yín kò ní tú gbogbo èyí tí ẹ̀ ń fi ìmọ̀ àti knowledge yín náà tẹ̀ fi ń support wa gbogbo ẹni tẹ̀lé sọ pé ẹ̀ ṣe mọ́ gbólóyè ti rìnrìn àjò lọ síbòmíì it's entirely up to you but one thing is Nigeria will eventually break ẹ bá mi tètè bí ó yẹ kẹ́ ti fi account number yẹn síta ká tó máa lọ donate to Koiki Media is voluntary staff àtàrán lọ sí Àkúrẹ́ north tẹ wo fídíò yẹn nísìn ó cost mi ní 18,500 naira £10 ni ó yẹ kí n lọ fi jó McDonald's but kó lè ká lè tẹ bá lọ wo page wa nísìn lórí Koiki Media gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dọ́ bẹ̀yẹn ti sọ̀rọ̀ they will be happy to see that a journalist come there káwá gbọ́dọ̀ lẹ́nu kò ń ṣe takọ̀rí fídíò táwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ so ẹ support wa First Bank wa 30 96 80 88 48 I need the naira all the time èmi ò tún gbọ́dọ̀ máa tún send £10 láti bí ọ̀yẹ́ kí náírà yẹn wà ń lé ni so ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀dẹ̀ náà wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́run yìí náà lọ́wọ́ o tó bá dẹ̀ pé opay náà ni 6104290167 is it ethical for journalists to ask for funding from the public? Yes, it is. It is ethical because BBC is funded by the public, by taxpayers. Thank you so much and God bless you. Good night from Instagram to wherever you're listening. We love you all, but Eledumare will continue to protect Yoruba land. Odaro.